Hello, do you want to register a preschool? Or do you want to own a registered preschool in Zimbabwe? Well, this video is going to give you a 16 step-by-step guide on how to register a preschool in Zimbabwe. ECD Teacher TV. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel ECD Teacher TV, where we talk about anything and everything about ECD, be it ECD lessons, how to teach ECD, ECD teacher professional development, anything, any consultants about ECD, we talk it right here. Assignments, dissertation, get in touch with me and let's discuss on whatever that you want to do with ECD issues. Well, in this video, we are going to talk about the 16 steps on how to register an ECD center in Zimbabwe. So, you do well by grabbing a book and a pen for you to write down some notes. Without wasting much of our time, let's get straight into our video. Before we start, can you please do just one more thing for me? Please hit the subscribe button. We need to grow our community. You pressing the subscribe button means that you are growing the community of ECD teachers, and we can get to share ideas and share information that will help us. So please subscribe, like, and share my video so that many people get to see and I get motivated to give you more and more content. Well, the next video I'll be sharing with you is on how to register a tertiary institution. But today we are focusing on how to register an ECD center, a preschool, or an infant school in Zimbabwe. So let's get straight into it. Step number one. Well, step number one is to make up your mind. Make up your mind on who you want to become. Do you want to become that person who will impact generations? Are you really sure that you want to shape young minds and make them the best they can be? Well, you've made the right choice. That's our job as ECD teachers. Make sure you're kind, you're loving, you're generous. You're just a person who loves to see greatness out of those young minds. They are the best that we have, and they're the future that we have for the next generation. Well, let's get straight into it. Step number one is to seek permission from the local authority to establish an ECD center. So what this means is that you go to the next city council, like the city council that governs the area where you want your ECD center to be. You go there and you express your interest to start an ECD center, and then you seek for permission. Remember, the local authority is the one that is in charge of the local area where you will be operating in. And ECD centers, schools, and many other entities are part, or they subscribe to the local authority of that area. If the area you are in is not governed by the local authority, maybe it's in farm areas, you go to the Ministry of Lands and then you start from there. You seek permission from there and they tell you the next step. Well, now, step number two, you acquire a health certificate. Step number three, you come up with an MOU with the city council of that area. So you come up with a memorandum of understanding on whatever that you'll be doing. They have the templates, so you just need to get there and ask them for the memorandum of understanding. Then the next thing is you come up with your proposed name. It should be in place so that when it's needed, you get to tell them, this is the proposed name of my ECD center or my preschool or my infant school. So number 5, you need the physical address of where you'll be operating and the area to be served. Physical address and the area to be served are two different things. Let's not confuse that. So you may be operating your ECD center at number 155 Street 10, Avondale, Harare. That's your physical address. But the area that you'll be covering may be spilling to other places that are beyond Avondale. It may be Avondale and it may be getting on into Mount Pleasant. I'm not sure of the places around, but that's something like that. So you need to also write the place or the area that you will be covering, that your ECD center will also be covering. So the next step is that you need to know the number of pupils that will be enrolled on opening at your school. So if you're going to be enrolling 3-year-olds, put it in writing. 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, you need to have that information and their ages as well. How many learners, so that the authorities will see if your facilities can really accommodate such number of learners or such age, or if the facilities have the right is a conducive environment, to be precise, for whatever age that your learners are at. So you really need to make sure that you say the ages and the number of pupils that you'll be enrolling at your new registered ECD center. Step number 8 is to have the names and qualifications of teachers to be employed. So you fill in a lot of paperwork with all this information. You need to have your teachers in place. So one thing about registration is you don't go there with nothing and just say, I want to register. You have to put your breads in a row. Everything have to be in place before you register. Your teachers, your learners, your place where you want to operate at. It's not like a company where you register without even a business that you are running. And then you get to think, now I have got a company. So what can I do? It's different. With ECD registration, you really need to know what you are doing and who you have and who you are working with. So you need to have the credentials for your teachers, their names and their qualifications, to see if they are really qualified to handle children. That's another step. The next step is to have medical examinations done and x-ray, because you'll be dealing with children, so there is really need to know any health statuses that the staff has that may need to be known before they start to deal with learners. So medical x-rays and medical certificates are very, very important. The next stage is the floor plan and the house plan. So suppose you're starting your ECD center at your house and you have done the change of use process. You also need to present the floor plan of your house to see really if the house is spacious enough for learners or for young children to deal with. There's also need for title deeds or lease agreement. If you are renting a place, you need to have a lease agreement, and that lease agreement is also required as you submit your papers, or title deeds if it is your house, or if you have got title deeds for that place where you'll be wanting to start your ECD center, you also provide those papers. There's also the recommended space area for learners. This is you can find more of this in the statutory instrument 106 of 2005, which is a policy guideline on how to establish ECD centers in Zimbabwe. So it gives you a step-by-step, that policy. You should look for it if you intend to start your own ECD center, because it gives you step-by-step guide on how the ECD center should look like, the wash facilities, the toilets and everything. But today I'll just give you a brief summary of it all. So the indoor play space should be 1.2 to 2.5 square meters per child, right? That's per child. And there should be age appropriate furniture as well. And the outdoor space should be 1.5 square meters per child. Then number 14, I'm not sure which number we are at now, but mine is number 14. We are now looking at toilets and closets. There's need to be toilets and closets 1 to 12 kids. So if you have 24 learners, 2 toilets are enough. If you have got 48 learners, you can do the math, isn't it? And then there's wash basins. Wash basins should be 1 to 6 learners. 1 to 6 learners. The last thing, the last and the final step is to fill in the ED1 form. So you can ask about it from the nearest school that is a public school that is near you, or the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education offices. You get the ED1 form, you put it in 4 copies, and you fill in the form and attach any evidence or any copies that will be needed. So there should be a set, there should be 4 sets. 4 sets. Then you submit them. those papers to the head of your nearest school. Wherever you want to establish your ECD center, there is a school, definitely a public school that is near you. So you go to the head of that school and submit the copies for onward submission to the district schools inspector in your respective district. And then the process starts. You'll be notified on the next steps to take and what to do. Assessments will be done, and then you get your school registered. That is all you need to do when you want to register your ECD center. And if you have got further questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Subscribe and share. Bye bye.